Yeah, we'll have enough. We brought in Lyndon Stevens and Nate Brooks, and uh, you know, obviously we have Eric, who's played corner in the past. So we'll have 11 out there. That's for sure.
Flo, you've had a lot of lineup changes, whether it's guys being inactive or demoted. When you tell these guys that, do they take it and understand, or is there some back and forth? Do guys, say, why is this happening?
I think it's case by case. Every situation is a little different. Look, we got a team of competitive guys in there, so when we tell a guy he's going to be down, there's some disappointment, which I expect that. And that's a good thing. I mean, it's never an easy thing to hear that when you practice hard and you prepare and you're ready to go. And but look, we got to put 7 guys down each week, and that's just part of playing in the National Football League. So those are tough decisions for us as a staff. Myself, Chris, our coaching staff. We talk about it really on a daily basis. What's the best group of players we can put out there offensively, defensively in the kicking game, and it all counts. So if you don't have a role in the kicking game, and you don't have a big enough role offensively or defensively, then it's hard to have guys at the game, or that particular player at the game. I would say, look, if you're a major contributor and you make plays every week, you're going to be out there. So it's case by case and week by week. We spend a lot of time on it, but every week we're trying to put the best group out there to help us win the game.
The measuring best group out there to help us win the game versus continuity, how tough a distinction is that?
I mean, it's all those things play into it, and that's a great question. And continuity, that obviously helps as far as putting the best group out there. So they go kind of, I don't want to say hand in hand, but each week it's a little bit different, and it's really dependent on your opponent. What grouping, the different groups from week to week that we're going to, put out there. Injuries play a part in this, and, the amount of communication we may have in the game plan may play a part in it. So, the definition of continuity, your definition, my definition, our coaches', definitions, people's definition, players of continuity, they could be very different. Communicate continuity from a communication standpoint, continuity from a just overall, speed, athleticism standpoint. And let's say, for instance, it's a third down situation and we need to get speed on the field. Your definition of continuity from that standpoint and my definition of continuity from that standpoint may be a little bit different. But it's speed and it's communication, it's tackling. I mean, we could go on and on for hours talking about different groupings, different sets of people, different sets of communicators, offensively, defensively, in a kicking game. Continuity, it's a term a lot of people use, but in this game with the different groupings, nickel to dime to 11 personnel to 12 personnel to goal line groupings to kickoff return to hands team to to injuries, and then you got to get a backup in there. Continuity is, you got to be able to adjust in this league, I would say.
And have you found that this system or this process is keeping players motivated in a positive way, or does it maybe put them on edge in a negative way?
I think competition is always, I think it's very positive. I think, we've got a group of guys in there who understand that, every day counts. Every practice, every meeting, every walkthrough. There's competition in every area of the building, specifically with the players, but, coaches, personnel, who's making, which lunch is better, Tuesday or Wednesday. I mean, it's kind of how, we want the building. And it's a good thing. And, I think we're trying to build a group of competitive guys who understand that they got to work and there's a process, and if they continue with that and they work hard and they prepare the right way, then good things will happen for them.
Seems like there's more specialization, I guess, in this area where you may have a player that only plays 30-40%, and you want that because that's his role. Have you seen the way you coach differ based on, maybe a speedy running back? You have to match him up with a linebacker that specializes in that, skill set.
I think every team's dealing with that. There's different, strengths and weaknesses to every team. Players that cause, specific issues where if you leave a certain group or a certain player out there, you're basically asking for trouble. You want to kind of keep yourself out of those situations. Let's call it defensively or in the kicking game. Offensively, you want to try to create those situations. So, again, we go back to continuity. We could keep the same guys out there on every snap, and then, you may not have the best matchup. So, there is some specialization, obviously, in this league. Some instances you can just leave a group out there, and the flip side of that is the players should, in a lot of cases, really know where the weaknesses are, and they defend them. They understand them, they defend them, and I think the smart, the good players in this league, they understand that not every situation is going to be perfect. We can't get the best matchup every time. They go no huddle, they get a guy in there, and you got a bad matchup. We got to hold on for a play, for a snap, and that's where you get your help. There's 10 other guys on the field to help you. So if I'm matched up on a speedy running back, and hopefully my post safety sees it and just leans over there a little bit. That's just one instance, but they show up on a really play-to-play basis.
Yourself, I guess, drafting or bringing in players that may have a specific role in mind, like that's the only thing you want him to do?
No, we're going to bring in good players, and we'll figure it out. I would say we find the strengths and weaknesses in each player, but if it's speed, if it's strength, if it's run stuffing ability, if it's pass rush ability, if it's blocking, we get an opportunity to get a good player, and that's, I think, my vision, and I know it's the same vision Chris has, is just getting as many good players as possible.
I'd ask you about Talib. Any conversations I know you've had with him you want to keep private, but I was just curious if you've gotten a sense about if he wants to and thinks he can continue to play next year, and if this might be a possible place for him.
Again, like you said it, those conversations are between myself and Keeb. And, there have been some conversations, but we're going to keep them between us. And I think that's just, common courtesy of, conversation I have with somebody that's a private conversation. I'm not going to talk about it with, anyone.
Is he a player that you might want to have around here for a few years?
Well, Keeb's been a great player in this league for a long time. He's played a lot of good football, so he's definitely a guy who would be in the conversation. But again, those between myself, Brandon, Chris, our coaching staff, those will always stay internal.
Brian, I know obviously your main focus has to be wins and losses over individual achievements, but Jason Sanders was not named Special Teams Player of the Week for the AFC. What do you think about that? Do you find that odd?
No, I didn't know that. It's not, and again, my focus is on the Giants right now. They've got plenty of guys to worry about, offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. I think Jason, had a great week last week. And sometimes, I don't know who won it, but I'm sure that player had a great week and was deserving as well. So I don't know exactly who that was or what that player did. But he must have done something because Jason had a good week as well. So, but whoever it was, I'm sure is very deserving. Jason's done a good job. I'm sure he's not, up in arms over it. He's kind of locked in on what our next opponent, which again the Giants are a good opponent. This is a talented bunch. They play hard, and they from Barkley to Slayton to Golden Tate to we got Eli in there. He played well the other day. DeMarcus Lawrence. Lawrence. They got guys everywhere. So they do a good job, and we got a tough test ahead of us. So I think the individual awards, when they're deserving, it's great. It's a great accomplishment. I know Jason's gotten a couple of those this year. But I think we're focused on the Giants.
Have you had any contact with the league this week about the DPI, and were you satisfied with the answer you got?
No, I have not had any contact with the league. Sorry, I know it's going to get taken the wrong way. I have not had any contact with the league. I've moved on. I mean, sit and talk about last week, but that's again. I just spent 2 seconds talking about that. 5 seconds now, 10 seconds now, and less time on the Giants. So.
Brian, do you enter this week know who your starting guards will be? Do you want to see how they practice this week?
Yeah, we know who they're going to be, but we'll see how it goes in practice, and they play well, we'll be out there. If they don't, we'll reassess and make the best decision for the team.
Can you say if it's in Sunday with Evan and Sutherland, or do you not want to say it?
I could say it, but I'm not going to. Eli's he's had a lot of success in this league. Gets the ball out quickly, still throws a very good ball, very accurate. I would say he's got very good command of their offense. He can get them in and out of good plays. He knows where he wants to go with the football. He knows where his playmakers are. He knows that he's got a few of them, whether it's Slayton or Barkley or I think Evan Ingram's going to be back this week, so that's another problem. He'll find a way to get them the football. So and Jones did the same thing. That's another good young quarterback who's made some progress over the course of the year. And I know he's dealing with an ankle. We may get him, we may not. We'll see. We'll be prepared for both of them.
You made a comment on Monday that I thought was interesting, and I wanted to ask if you could expand upon it. Mm-hmm. It was when you said, "I'm all about serving those players." I thought that was an interesting comment. Can you tell me more about that?
I think that's what coaching is. It's about service. We got to. I want to help those guys, become better football players, better, citizens to the world. So I feel like I've got to try to be an example of that. And our coaching staff tries to do the same thing. So that's what this is. That's what coaching is, in my opinion. We're teachers, we're educators, and we're here to serve other players. Now, that doesn't mean it's all rosy. We've got to be demanding, and it's good for them, I think. And I think if that hopefully that helps them become better versions of themselves on and off the field. So maybe I'm on a soapbox, but that's kind of my thought process.
Ron, you met a lot of fans before the game in New York, and I don't know if it was the New York City Dolphin Fan Club, but why was that important to you? Why did you do that? We think we got a lot of Dolphin fans, and to say hello, to shake a hand, to sign a hat or shoe. I think that's a nice gesture, and to go up to that environment and support our team. I think that's incredible, and I just wanted to show my appreciation. Was that your idea, or were you guided to them?
Yeah, it was it's a genuine gesture. It's not. I'm not being told to do that.
I didn't mean to disingenuous.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
Thank you.